Well, now it's time to take a look at the business pages, and I'm joined by stock market guru, I'm glad to say, Mike Baghdady, who's invested £1.5 million, no less, of his own money in an experiment to try to turn 15 novices into successful city traders. He's also going to look at, as I said, at the business pages for us, but we've got to talk about that. Very good morning to you, Mike.
Good morning, sir.
Putting your money where your mouth is, that's for sure, but doesn't it rather kind of downgrade the role of the trader in that you're more or less saying anyone can do it?
That's exactly the point. Anybody can do it. This is, I have been for the last 30 years as you training the professionals in the institutions and the banks, and they are the ones that made the majority of the money in the crash of 2007. 85% of the public has been unfortunately not gaining the amount of money that the traders and the bankers are getting, and that's why you have the talk about taxes and taxing the bonuses and all that kind of stuff. So now we do have a talent, we have an expertise, and there is this great public demand that they need to know to learn how to be on the right side of the market, and therefore this crossing of those two interests came along, and it has now become a calling.
So you got hold of these 15 novices, you've given them 100 grand each.
Yeah.
How have they been doing? And I mean, they all must respond differently to the training and the advice you give them.
We are putting them in the plan right now, and they will get effectively on the floor as of July the 14th, because they have to give notices to leave their jobs. Most of them have been employed, some of them are bankers, some of them are actual traders in banks, some of them there's a housewife, a taxi driver. It's a tapestry.
Got room for any newsreaders, or is it all full?
Exactly, absolutely, absolutely. And we are going to put them together. We're starting the program as of July 4th, and they will be getting the training and the expertise. We're going to make them a full-rounded traders to become our future hedge fund manager.
And is this philanthropy on your part, or is it a full-on market investment?
It is an investment, not philanthropy. This is a business endeavor. It is something that I undertook with my partner, Ben Tucky, and that was the plan based on our belief that we can actually take an individual from any certain background, and we can deliver to him that knowledge and expertise to be on the right side of the market.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on how that experiment goes. Now, you've been casting an eye on the business pages for us. Just talk us through this Plan B. Much discussion about the Chancellor George Osborne, who's told me on many occasions that there's no change, there's no deviating from the course he's set in terms of the cuts.
Having cuts and austerity measures is important, and it's necessary to have a balanced budget, but it is rarely that a government on its own can get out of the recession. It needs a lot of participation from the public sector. To get out of this recession, you need the consumer participation. They need to be able to buy, invest, and there should be demand. The demand is only a function of having disposable income that a private investor can use to.
So just in terms, I mean, this article in the Sunday Times, of course, it's leading, and the Observer as well. Just in terms of the cuts programme, I mean, what's your personal view on it? I mean, clearly everyone agrees the deficit is a problem. How much of a problem, how much of a threat is it to the UK recovery if it stays at these levels?
It's a very big threat if there is no other alternative. There should be a second. There is not one cookie cutter that will get us out of the situation. We need the private sector to participate into the development of the economy. They have to take active participation. They have to become proactive investors in the market.
Now, another story you've picked out for us concerning education, and of course vital in terms of the economic mess we're in. This highly educated elite, I suppose we need for us, and private individuals thinking about setting up, and academics amongst them, a centre of excellence to rival Oxbridge.
Absolutely. The line or the connection that I have here, and the reason because I chose the story, is that the same principle, if you will, has been taken by the American University in Cairo. They have started a program of offering their students an alternative kind of education, more practical education to get involved in the market. And we have been, I'm honored to say, we have been given the opportunity to prepare to undergraduate courses and to MBA courses, so that the economic or the student that gets into the college will get all the elite education, plus he's going to have the practical executional form, if you will, to enter, and then when they go into the job market, they will have an additional something to offer.
Pricey though, I mean, £18,000 here is about twice what you would pay going to a state university through that system. I mean, do you think if people feel that they are going to get access to the really top people, they'd be willing to pay that?
Unfortunately, there's no free lunches, and you always pay what you get for. So
we'll see if that one flies. Last story then, Mike, and out of the travel sections, in actual fact, King Tut will see you now. This, of course, one of the dimensions of the so-called Arab Spring and all the upheavals in Egypt.
Well, this is one of my favorite stories, if you will. I mean, I'm Egyptian by birth, and this is my home country, and it is such a joy. I have been there after the revolution. I was asked to go and talk to the EGX traders there, but I've seen Egypt right after the revolution, and now to see that Egypt is now back open to business, this lovely country, those hospitable people, and we love the English people to be there and visit and see King Tut float down the Nile or go to Sharm el-Sheikh.
Not too busy right now because a lot of the tourists were scared away.
You'll get a big bang for the buck.
Okay. Well, and I hope you do in your experiment with those traders as well. Great advertisement there for Visit Egypt as well. Mike Baghdady, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And you're watching Manahan here on Sky News. Coming up for you, all process, but where is this peace, especially today? Problems